Okay, Gaffer, first and foremost, Carl Vassell going out on loan to Dagenham and Redbridge, a perfect opportunity to go and get some games.
Yeah, I've been trying to find something for Carl for a couple of weeks now. He's been on the sidelines for a while. When you come back from having been on the sidelines, you need, especially as a forward, to get that match fitness under your belt. You get injected into games and you're not quite right, you're not quite reading pictures right, you're not quite anticipating things right. It's so important as a forward to get that match fitness. So I've been trying to get somewhere for him to go, and Dagenham's a perfect opportunity. They're struggling, great opportunity for him to go and make a mark, and I look forward to seeing their results and his goal scoring make a difference.
Yeah, you mentioned in the press, and you've mentioned this week as well, about how important the fans were last week and what response they gave to the players, and they need to be there again on Saturday. Yeah,
last week was everything as a manager that you don't want when you go to a new football club. You want to build that trust with your fans. You want to deliver them consistency, reliability. But they were outstanding, pre and in fairness post match. We've been there before, and we've made the mistake of conceding a 2-goal advantage. It's a difficult place to go. The ground can get up behind the team, and the team can come at you wave after wave, and the momentum in that ground can be difficult to stop. And we showed a lack of experience really, and as I say, I made the mistake of not putting more energy into the middle of the park, and we paid the price. But to be fair, the fans have really tolerated that mistake of mine, and backed what they saw in the first half, which is really nice as a manager joining a new club. You hope you can be honest, and you hope you can get a good reaction, and they've been fabulous in their reaction, and I don't anticipate that they're going to have to suffer that kind of consequence of my management too often.
This weekend, obviously, Burton, in that Burton squad, there's quite a few familiar faces for you.
Yeah, you've got Massinho and Council Sheriff at centre-back, who both of whom I signed Moose at Stevenage and again at Preston, and Council Sheriff I took into Preston. Bevan up top, who I took into Preston from Wickham, and Phil Edwards I signed him at Stevenage from Accrington. Lucas Akins I inherited when I was at Stevenage, and Darius Charles, who's moved up there during the summer. So there's 5 or 6 lads in there who I know very, very well, and who know me very, very well. We've shared some good times together, myself and a lot of those lads, and they're good people, they're good players, which is why I put so much faith in them. So I know with the mentality that they've got and the abilities they've got, it's not an easy place to go. They're going very well in the league, but as Tony Mowbray said after the game last weekend, you go a long way to find a better side than us in League One, and provided that we go and perform to the level that we can, then we can go through.
Yeah, this competition holds special memories for you. Obviously, your time at Stevenage, and you've had some really big games.
Yeah, over the years, as a non-league manager, I managed to get through to the first round proper several times from the qualifying rounds, and ended up on one of those occasions at Highbury playing the double winners. That was nice, especially when we went down to 10 men after 20 minutes. But we dug in, we hung in there, and it's not great losing any football match. And you can say as a non-league team going to Highbury, we put in a creditable performance that day. But it's not the sort of memory that I cherish, that's for sure. But then at Stevenage we had some great runs, some really notable victories. The Newcastle United victory being probably the most significant. A squad that was reported to be earning upwards of £150 million, and there was us little old Stevenage taking them on. But we managed to grind out, crush a Premier League outfit. We beat them 3-1, and it was a convincing display. So the FA Cup's just spectacular. It gives you all sorts of opportunities to challenge yourself against the biggest and the best, and you have to get through these early rounds to get to the point where your ball's going in amongst the Uniteds and the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Tottenhams. But we're doing all we can to make our way through.
Yeah, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but a cup run's always nice, particularly for the finals.
Yeah, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but at the same time, a cup run can create a legacy at a football club. I left Stevenage in the 4th round, the year that they pulled Tottenham in round 5. We had to go to the Medeski and win in round 3, and we did a terrific job there. And then the ball that got pulled, the Tottenham ball in round 5, built a new training ground, and it's a fantastic facility, paid for by that FA Cup run, and that's the kind of difference that you can make when you're a manager in a football team and a club. That's the type of difference you can make to yourself. So you should never underestimate the FA Cup, in my opinion. It can change the whole face of a football club. It could build a new stand, and when you get that kind of advantage, you have to respect the competition. The competition looks after the people who attack it, who attack the game, who play the game in the right way, who play on the front foot, who want to own the football, who want to go and score goals. The competition looks after that. I think that's what the cup's all about. and that's exactly the club that we are. That's exactly the team that we are. It's exactly the football that we want to play. So I'm looking forward to this year's outing.
Yeah, watching Bayern Munich last night, they obviously dominated the football, and obviously they play in a style that will score more goals than you. And I suppose, without comparing us to Bayern Munich so early, that's the sort of football you want to play.
No pressure then. Pep Guardiola, not after getting done 3-2 from 2-0. I don't think so. Not just yet. They're an exceptional side. So are the Barcelona side that Pep put together, and when you've got the best players in the world, that brand of football can come about. We have got players who are more than capable of being the best players in League One, and we're more than capable of playing the exciting brand of football we've seen in patches from us on a consistent basis. We're starting to get some really good work into the players from a physical point of view. Their fitness levels are changing and improving and developing. Their understanding of organisation, defensive organisation off the back of our play is going to get better. At times we've seen it improve, at times we've seen a slip back, but on the whole, the quality of play is the thing that is undoubted about these players. They can own a football, work a football, and do some magical and wonderful things with it. There's so much goal scoring potential in the team, and I'm excited working with them. I love coming in and watching them on the training ground. They're brilliant lads to work with, and it won't surprise me to see us putting the sorts of results together that really excite everybody, and that to start to get us really talked about. It's nice that clubs are going into games against us knowing that we score goals, we are the entertainers. Keep talking about us as the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, you watch Aaron on the ball with his wizardry. You look at the pace of the Connor Washingtons, you look at the tricks of Koulibaly, you look at Leon Gull in front of goal. There's so much devastation that can happen in our team. It's a really good place to be.
And just a final word on two of the players in your squad. Obviously, Chris Forrester came off last weekend, but has arguably been one of the finds for many, many years at this football club. And obviously Connor Washington, who obviously played ridiculously well at Coventry without getting the breaks in front of goal.
Yeah, Forrester, we've got a problem with him, which is the colour of his legs, because I think his value is going to stay at 5 to 10 million all the time. We don't get those legs up from the dreadful shade of white they are right now. So we're trying to get him on a sunbed. We're trying to tan him up a bit so that we can pretend he's got a Spanish grandmother, and we'll end up moving him into the Premier League for a lot more money than we will do otherwise. He's some footballer. If you watch the first half last week, you'll see him dominate the ball, but also position himself in such an experienced and mature fashion for a player of his age, to break play up and get us going. You look at his statistics, his match stats, game after game. He's just getting better, and he's influencing games as Michael Carrick does, but he can go and get a goal as well. So a major prospect. Connor Washington I love to death. I get why people will get frustrated with Connor, but let's give the kid some credit for the amount of work he does to earn so many of the chances that he gets. The fact that he needs to have a little bit more composure in front of goal, and to learn slightly better habits in front of goal, is the least of my concerns. I know I can change that. I look at him, day in day out this week. He's been better on that training ground. He's learning better habits. Even as a goalkeeper this week, just so that he can look at goal scoring from the other side. And I think he learned a bit from doing that, from being in goal, understanding what a goalkeeper does and doesn't like, understanding how to take control of that one-on-one situation. He'll improve, he'll get better. It would not surprise me to see him as the Golden Boot winner in League One this year. I know he's got a little bit to do, he's a few goals behind right now, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him be the Golden Boot winner. He's cherished by a lot of managers from higher levels. You talk to people, I talk to people outside the club, and they're telling me all the time, Washington, because of the pace, because of the threat, because of the qualities he has got. So I mean, they're two of many. There's plenty of players within our squad that are catching everybody's eye.